Hey guys, I will not keep you waiting. I'm so sorry for pushing back and rescheduling and stuff like that. Had a lot of stuff kind of come up and whatnot. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I share this with everybody. All right, let me share this with everybody. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh, and I'm like, I could hear myself somewhere else. That's why I have to pause it. What is going on? Hold up. My mouse is making me click different buttons. What is going on? Did I really just click out of the Oh my gosh. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm having an issue with the cord. 1 second, guys. Okay, technical difficulties. I'm here. I'm here. Hey, Tufstino, how are you? Shout out to Tufstino. Congratulations on hitting 10K. Let's go to 20. All right, let's keep it moving. Luigi, my love, has been a member for 32 months. How are you, Luigi? Shout out to Tinkle Tits in the chat. Thank you, Luigi. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you for supporting. Nikki has become a member. Nebby's been a member for freaking 25 months. Oh my God. 2 years and a month. Shout out to Nebby. Ronan, you've been a member. What the heck? Did you just renew? Well, shout out to Ronan for renewing the membership. Shout out to everybody. All right, everybody come through. I'm just like sharing and everything. I didn't even say good morning to the people of the Discord. Yet. Hold up, y'all. See, this is what happens. I unplug things and then plug things. Cheeks is my mod. My mods have been members for quite some time. Shout out to Cheeks, who's been a member for 26 months. My goodness. Hold up, y'all. Everybody, we live now. Hurry up, Discord. Hurry up, people. All right. Let's get it together, guys. All right. So let's get started. Where do we get started? My goodness. In December of 2023, there was a very disturbing video from Soft White Underbelly. Now, I kind of go back and forth on Soft White Underbelly because, first of all, it's a huge ass channel, right? Like, please note that. And they interview a lot of people, and there's a lot of fans, a lot of supporters of Soft White Underbelly and everything that they do. Soft White Underbelly has been coming up on my radar a lot because of the Whitakers and that whole fraud investigation that's happening between, I guess, two channel owners that hold this channel after Mark Leda was like, I'm done with the Whitakers, you know? And so then these other individuals decided to start a whole channel and took it upon themselves to help the Whitakers. Whether that was a good thing or not, I guess that's up to people to debate, right? I have my own opinions, but Mark Leda, more importantly, I think came to my radar even way before Nova. It was during the Amanda Rabb situation, Lima Yuremovich. You guys kind of know the backstory for those that have been following my channel. Shout out to BJ. She's in the chat. So Nova, who at least when I first encountered her, I think she was 13 at the time. And in December of 2023, there was this video that went very much, at least came to my radar, and I was very disgusted by it because I couldn't believe, and I'm going to show you guys the link. I don't want to speak out of my whatever, show you guys the direct information. Okay. If you guys can see, and this is my Google search, right? And I know that the title of the video has changed, but this is the original title when Nova interviewed with Soft White Underbelly. Okay, prostitute interview, 14-year-old prostitute Nova. Okay, Now, and then there's her mom right there, Tanea. So she goes and she does this interview, and I have documented some of it as well. BJ has documented a lot of it, and it was very alarming because the words, first of all, the words child and prostitute should never be used in the same sentence. There's no such thing, right? Like, we should not be allowing or permitting that even to be part of the vocabulary. I'll stand on that. But at the same time, I told you guys that I'm a I have a master's degree in social work. My undergraduate is in criminology. I have done all kinds of work. I did community work, and then I worked 10 years in government. I worked specifically with kids that were runaways, specifically like kids like Nova, right? And I could tell you that it's a very difficult field to be in, to talk to kids, to go and talk to professionals, to try to change legislation about the situation, to get parents involved, especially when the parent is in that industry. And it almost seemingly doesn't seem like the parent cares so much so enough to even change that behavior, right? Because in order for Nova to change her behavior, the parent has to change the behavior, right? Mommy see, in a child see, child do kind of type of situation. That's not something that I made up. That has been like child, development 101 in any kind of graduate school or school program. Now, to tell you even more about myself, I remember being 14 and 15. I was a juvie kid, right? First generation. I dealt with a lot of ish in my life, within led me to, try to figure out how to understand that abnormal behavior, or the psychology of, or the environment of, or the culture of, or all this stuff, right? And even when we cover some of these true crime cases, I kind of give you guys a little peek into that. I tell you, that might be weird for some of you guys, but culturally it might be accepted here, right? Doesn't mean it's okay, but it might be, right? But what is so crazy to me, and even no matter how many years I've done this and who I've talked to, how many parents have called me to cuss the shit out of me because I've had that, I've been through all of it, right? And then later on, thank me for doing X, Y, and Z. I've been through all of it. People have to care about the things that are happening in the community for things to actually change. And sometimes it's not even these government assholes, by experience, please, because sometimes they are like 15, 20 layers removed from the community that pays that salary, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, how do we make people care about this? How do you make people care about a 14-year-old prostitute interviewing on soft white underbelly, giving locations, and being semi-nude, when the mama doesn't even care, or when the community, or when the men's, some men's don't care? She's a fast little girl. She likes to get it in. There's videos up there of her, doing the thing. I had a troll yesterday, and I did screenshot this, who, in defense, I'll show you guys, of the situation. I'm gonna show you guys. I screenshot it and I shared it to the Discord, and I was like, look at this BS. Hold up. Look at this BS. Let's see, let me stop sharing this. Okay. This is the screenshot. I had scheduled my live. That's another good point, Milky Way girl. Who are the customers? Why aren't those customers being held accountable? Right? This she fell in love, right? Not that I'm opposed to felons being, I got felons in my family. Hell, my own family. My husband is a felon. So I understand this life, right? I get it. We have, whatever. But she fell in love. Oh my God, LAPD can't do anything about Nova posting her own videos on Twitter. Okay. She then says what they are going to do to stop her. Okay. She will find others. See if I can read this. She will find other ways to sell them and more people to sell them to. Are you going to take away her iPhone and Cash App? Like, come on. Well, maybe we should. I mean, I don't know. I'm not part of, my understanding is that Nova is a kid in foster care, at least from what I've seen, right? So where is her foster care team? Where is her guardian ad litem? Because her mother's not doing it, right? She's not. And that's okay. I mean, maybe she's got a lot of shit going on in her life. Okay. But what is disturbing is what the community knows about Nova. Okay. Well, what does the community know? Now, again, this is a video from 2023. Okay. This is how long this situation has been going on. And it's been accepted because she's a fast little girl. She can go on soft white underbelly. And it's interesting, when that interview happened, she was semi-nude. I mean, you could see her areas. Tanea comes on and she's like giving some bullshit ass, and it's bullshit ass story. Oh, I didn't know, and Mark did it this way. She was receiving a lot of backlash. She didn't like that. So she had to make up some story, right? So let's get into this. Watch this video. We did a little coverage on Nova, the young 13-year-old girl that appeared on Soft White Underbelly. The video where Mark was getting a lot of pushback on the comments, he decided to blur her breasts and then re-upload, okay, and then turn off the comments. So this is Nova's mom, Tanea. She's done a couple of interviews. She has appeared on the No Jumper Reddit forum. So she's well known. No Jumper, Soft White Underbelly.
You know, I'm not cheap.
She's about to do damage. She gonna rob your stupid ass, set you up, all kind of shit. Like,
It's like so easy too. Very easy. But you gotta know what you're doing now. And it gotta be a purpose.
you a whole clown out here. The bitch is on Soft White Underbelly. Her little interview. Bitch got her daughter out here selling pussy.
Oh yeah.
It's only a matter of time. I'll give it
Credit to the YouTuber for this clip. This is his channel. Check him out. Interesting how all of these people and all these channels are linked in together. Listen to what the lady says she's doing to her daughter as well. Listen to what she said the lady was doing to her daughter, right? The lady said. Now, I'm inclined to believe this lady right here, whether the creator called her a snitch or not, I don't care. But I'm inclined to believe it because guess what? What Tanea has shown throughout this time, and it's been accepted, is that it's okay for her daughter to do these things. Okay? 14, 15, whatever it may be, she's a runaway or whatever. What activity are you doing to make sure and prevent her from not doing this behavior if you're still doing that behavior? That's what I want to know. Now, prostitution is the oldest trade in the industry, right? But you mean to tell me that you would rather do that than to at least be the example to say, you know what, I don't want my daughter to go through this. Let me go get a job, whether it's McDonald's, get into a trade, whatever it may be. Let me go do something different because I don't want her to copy me. People wouldn't know who Nova is if it wasn't for the fact that the mom introduced her to this life, right? Thank you. That's how it is. And men like Mark Leda, men like Adam22 are very much, I mean, this is entertainment, right? This is entertainment. This is a click and a view. That's why I have to kind of ask, do people really give a shit? Do people care? Tanea doesn't. If we hear a story, and I hope it never happens, but we have Celeste Rivas, for example, who was in the trunk of a car. That could have been Nova. That could have been Nova, right? That could have been Nova. Given the atmosphere that she's at, given the people that she surrounds herself with, yeah. Listen, I mean, this is the lady's words.
you a whole clown out here. The bitch is on Soft White Underbelly. Her little interview. Bitch got her daughter out here selling pussy. It's only a matter of time. I'll give it
credit to the YouTuber for her daughter is selling what now? Thank you. It's not normal. This ain't culture. It's criminal. Right? Now, I wish it would be great if Nova, excuse me, not even great, because I even hate even saying that. But Nova's not the only child that was interviewed at Soft White Underbelly. Look at this pregnant 14-year-old prostitute. Her name is Trophy. Okay? Doing interviews. What guardian, what parent signed off for this interview? God knows what. Is this supposed to be a cautionary tale at the expense of what? The thing about that interview with Nova is she was giving locations about where she works, Fig and this and that and the other. Who watches this? Who watches this? Because a child who's giving all this information, who's literally telling you how she's being victimized on the street, and then people are twisting that shit around to say, oh, she's a prostitute. Okay.
All right. Welcome back, Trophy.
Hi, Mark.
Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you too.
You've got some news for us, don't you?
Hi, Mark. You got some news for us. How much did Mark pay for this interview when this interview got well over 333,000 views with 7.6K? Do you know how much this video made, guys? If you're a YouTuber, you understand that this is a big coin right here, right? Because there are people who like this kind of content. You're not going to be a YouTuber and put out boring content, right? Like, I get it. But there are people who are seeking this. There are people that are seeking this. And if they're seeking this, hold up, guys. They're probably also seeking your child too. One sec, guys. If they're seeking this situationship, right, or this really sad case of a child who, to be pregnant at 14 is a lot. It's just sad, right? But to be pregnant at 14 and whatever the situation may be, what's going on, and then you have somebody who offers her money to tell her story. Mark, how much did you make out of this video? How much did you offer her? $300, $500 when she's 14 years old and an prostitute, as you say? And then she's recounting her horrific abuse, whatever that may be, the times that she's been with this, whatever old ass man, whatever it may be, and the things that she's been to. Man, I'm telling you, people have to care about this in order for things to change. How is this not a cybercrime? I don't know. How is this not a cybercrime? I don't know. It would be different to say, okay, here is a grown-ass woman who happens to be in the S industry, whatever may be your issue. Y'all know how I am. I'm like, well, maybe she's choosing to be there. But this is a child. Children don't consent to this. They don't. But there are the fans of this. That's the thing. We know that this is a problem. And this is why I get so frustrated, because it's like we could sit here and we could talk about this all day until we're blue, right? This is a crime. Children can't consent to anything. You're right. Would Nova be charged for distribution of CP on her platform? No, I don't. Well, I mean, I don't know what the California law would be for a child, but why not shut this is the thing where the laws get a little crazy to me. Twitter is bombarded by prawn, guys, by you guys know what I'm talking about. It's bombarded by that. You could see all kinds of prawn. It doesn't take long. Now, I get the whole freedom of speech and everything, but if this child, like this other, idiot troll said, she's uploading her thing. Well, what do you know that we don't know? Should you take away her phone and her Cash App? Maybe, because she is a child. Because if she was under my roof, you better believe that I would be taking my child's Cash App and phone, because guess what? Over my dead body before I see your ass up in this internet like that, right? I didn't put my behavior, and this is what I'm telling y'all, like, I was a juvie kid because there was a lesson that I had to learn there, right? Like my parents were like, oh no, and they loved me and everything. But I would do the same. I don't care. Go take a break in that facility. You over there. Oh, it's Christmas. Don't worry, my love. I'm gonna go visit you. I'll visit you for an hour, whatever it may be. Oh, you're in a foster home. Well, if you're in a foster home and you're uploading your own content, then what the hell is the foster home not doing here? I used to join these groups of professionals where we would have custody of kids like Nova, and we would have to make decisions like that. And that's where the system is very intrusive. But you know what? You don't have people like Mark Leda or Adam22 or whatever it may be interviewing them about their locations and the shit that and the abuse that they've been through. People forget that the interview that Nova did, she said she wanted to be a lawyer. She wanted to be a defense attorney. I remember that out of the whole thing, out of the interview, because the whole interview was disgusting, right? A girl with big dreams. And 15 years from now, when she looks back at these videos, when she looks back at her mom, the lack of intervention, the lack thereof, what now? What about the men? I'm a dad's girl. I'm a dad's girl. No, you're a dad's girl to your children, just not children like Nova or Trophy or anybody else. That's the reality of it. And then the people, the fans do get mad. Oh, you're just a hater. You know, Mark has done so much for Nova and Tanea and the Whitakers and all that. Mark has done so much. If he's done so much, why isn't he building the community that he takes from? Why aren't you building this fucking school? Why aren't you, I don't know, doing something with put your money where your mouth is? No, you're writing books, putting these pictures in there. Why aren't you doing something about it? And if you're a watcher of this shit, why aren't you asking Mark, hey, can we build a school or donate some money to a foster or something? Why not? That's what I want to know. Build a school. I don't know, give to the community. I mean, you take from it, you might as well. Why aren't you doing something productive? Let's talk about this call that BJ posted. And I'm not surprised at all because the LAPD, Los Angeles, and it's not the only county. California is not the only state. This is a real thing. Some states just do not give a shit about their youth, especially now it seems even more, right? Where people are being more forgiving about if you violate a child, it's okay. Right? Like I'm noticing a lot of forgiveness, a lot of like excusing the behavior.
You have reached the Los Angeles Police Department's non-emergency number. If this is a police emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
Los Angeles Police Department, operator 716.
Hi.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Okay, so I don't even exactly know where to start. I'm so sorry. I'll lead with what I think is the most important. There's child on the internet. I've reported it and it's not being taken down. There's 3 videos I reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and then another one has been posted.
Okay.
And the child is in LA, from what I understand. I am not. So I didn't want to call 911 because I'm in New Jersey. Just full disclosure, I don't live over there, but there's child on the internet. It's been there since September. I'm very shaken up about it. I've reported it to the FBI. I reported it to Twitter. It's up on there, and it's not just pornography. It's being sold.
You said you're in New Jersey?
Yeah, but the is online.
Got it. But you need to talk to your local police department for that.
The victim is in your jurisdiction. For sure.
You're reporting it in New Jersey, so you report to your jurisdiction.
The New Jersey cops are going to drive to California to protect this child. Any enforcement action will be done on that account, which is a California account.
Do you know this person?
She's famous. She's a famous child. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children already had files on her. This is still up public on Twitter.
Okay, then you can report it to your local police department.
The New Jersey cops don't have jurisdiction over this child or her account, which was made in California. They can't do anything.
That's the FBI, man. The FBI handles computer crimes. We as a LAPD don't.
What?
We don't handle computer crimes.
So you don't take action against child at the LAPD?
Not for this call, no.
761 is your number?
Yes, operator 716.
716. And what's your name?
We don't give names.
You don't give names and you don't protect children?
Ma'am, this is reported to the FBI. As the LAPD does not respond out for computer crimes.
Who are you? I'm not talking to, who are you? What's your operator number, please?
407.
So y'all are, just to let me get this straight. Y'all are chastising me for calling to report child, which I have reported, of a child who is a victim in your jurisdiction. And you are bitching at me? Got it.
Ma'am,
I'll report this. I will report this publicly, and I'm going to add your... Bitch, get loud with me, stupid fucking...
Oh, man. So I am not at all surprised. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm not. That this is the kind of thing that has been, what's the word? When we get caught up on jurisdiction and stuff like that, whatever it may be, time is of the essence, right? When disgusting videos are out there, all this stuff, we want that out. But it's crazy to me that you have to go to the extent of calling all these things versus just, the platform being able to detect with AI the way that it is. If there is a threat against a politician, immediately things get taken down, things get removed, things get said, right? Like, this is how kids and youth they're just not valued. They're not. Think about it. If I were to do a video and make a threat, immediately X is going to, Elon will remove it. Whatever it may be. But when it comes to something like this, as serious, nothing happens. And it's a very real frustration. Yes, the videos are still up, my understanding. Yeah, God forbid that the copyright gets tiptoed on for 5 seconds. Music on the background, hell. One of my videos talking about soft white underbelly got removed. Immediately there's a bot or something. With how AI is doing things and facial recognitions and things like that, given that this child has been out there on the internet, there's nothing to protect these children. There isn't. It's how it is. That is the reality of the situation. That is a real thing. But it's like I said, it's not a thing that, we just woke up one day and we're like, well, let's talk about this. This has been an ongoing thing. It's been going for years. People have to care. People have to care in order for things to happen. I don't do, well, it's this side or this political side. I think it's all a cult. I'm gonna be honest. All these politicians, they're all part of a cult. That's what I've determined in the last, I don't know, especially, 4 years, the way in which things have been happening and everything. We're all over the place. But the one thing we can't agree on is to protect our children from all this ish that's on the internet. Can't protect a child who's clearly not in the custody of her mother. And I don't even think her mother would have done anything about it, to be quite honest. I mean, she's already failed her a couple times. Not to say that she can't come out of that, but she hasn't done it. She hasn't done it. Rabbit, have you ever had a private conversation with Mark to ask your finger pointing accusations? We don't know, including you, what he does for his community. Oh, You know what? I have never asked to have a private conversation. I know it's BJ. I know BJ's in the chat, right? Someone wants my attention. Okay. Well, hit me up. I know, BJ, are you in the chat? Because I don't know if it was Adam22 or Mark Leda that there was some communication or whatever. Okay. I mean, it's not enough for me to do a video and talk about these things, right? I have to like, hey, Mr. Mark Leda, do you think you could tell me what you've done for the community over there in Figueroa? You know, what else have you done? I could tell that the people that support him have donated. People feel like just because you're doing content like he's doing, that somehow you're doing a service to the community. I'm exposing the underbelly that people don't want to see and they don't want to talk about. I'm exposing this. Matter of fact, I had asked Chat GPT about the Whitakers, right? What the controversy was, because it's a lot of I mean, the Whitakers is a historic thing, right? You kind of have to have been there from the beginning to really understand, right? Why are people so attracted to the Whitakers? And then it's almost like they're throwing money, or if they're donating, are you guys donating for the benefit of the family? Or are you guys really donating because you want to like help the family? What is it? Or for your own pleasure? This raw, unfiltered footage of a family, they consented, right? Like that's, you know, if there's no children, fine. But when it comes to children, then they go viral online. Then they're somehow involved in a trafficking situation. They've been mentioned here. You got these men's around them. Oh, she's a fast little girl. But then you want to come to my comments, talk about these finger pointing accusations. What am I finger pointing? The title of the video that he did on Nova, let me show it to you. Because I mean, this, you might perceive this as a finger pointing accusation. Hold up, let me see. Because I did just pull it up right here. Here it is. Maybe it says right here, 14-year-old prostitute Nova. Sandy, if that was your 14-year-old child, would you want the word prostitution after that child? Oh, look at this. So on a separate situation, BJ says, I reached out to Mark about Amanda by email and he didn't respond. Okay. Why would he? He's like, what? He doesn't give a shit. When people give a shit, they actually do something about the things that they say they want to expose, right? They don't just sit there. They actually do something about the behaviors that they want to expose. When people give a shit. So Miss Sandy, we don't know what he's doing, including you. Let me know when he opens a school, or let me know if he donated to anything. Listen, I know that the people that go in there, one of the women out there who had a child with her brother, I think it's the woman up there in this little photo right here. I forgot her name. He gave her furniture. He gave her all kinds of things, and then he leaves, right? That's what he does. He gives them. There's something really weird to me that, I mean, I don't know about you guys, how people don't see the boundaries issue, right? With that, but that's what he does. Whatever, how much he pays, and then he might maybe give him a little something there and there, right? Nothing compared to how much he makes on these videos. Can you imagine making a video with 400,000 views in one day? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't have to do anything else if that was the case. I will say, Sandy, though, I do believe that, you know, he did that little book with all the pictures, and maybe he, I don't know, did he cut a check to, I don't know, a city organization, a nonprofit youth organization? Did he say, if I'm going to take from this community, I'm going to make sure I give back? I don't know. I guess there's a lot of questions to that. Who else wants my attention? I'm sorry, Chico. Let me know, because I can't see. There's a lot of comments. Yeah, I would say so. There are plenty of organizations exposing these crimes. We don't need a Mark Leda shoving a camera in children's faces. Thank you, Milky Way. But, you know, of course, let me go write an email and ask him, hey, before I make an accusation, what are you talking about? The title of our video is 14-year-old child prostitute Nova. This one, pregnant 14-year-old prostitute trophy update. But you want me to write an email because he doesn't know that this is the title of the video? Girl, let me know when you wake up. To expose child exploitation is not the same as exposing the child exploited. That makes you one of the exploiters, period. We don't ever keep the same energy, guys. Nobody cares. Because if they cared, if an Adam22, whatever he does, right? Quite the personality, right? If he cared, he wouldn't expose a child to his No Jumper podcast. He would ask, you know, his panel members or whatever to like figure out how to maybe not talk about this child and how fast she is and all this other stuff. Why include children? It's not enough that you already have like people that work in the industry. Why not keep it to the people, the adults, but why tag in the children? That's what I want to know. But you know, these are things that is okay with some people, right? When people can sit here and say, well, he's done great work with the Whitakers, but they fail to overlook this, I don't know what else to tell you, girl. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, that's crazy work to me. BJ has every right to be upset about that call, but it's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me that when you call an agency and then they tell you, oh, well, you know, you got to call this number and this number. Why do I have to call 10,000 numbers? And why do the people say, it's just a lack of training? It is not your problem. Well, first of all, let me fix that. It is not my fault as a tax-paying citizen that your department isn't trained in this specific field, which is stupid and dumb given that you're law enforcement. It's not that would be crazy for somebody to say, well, maybe you need to get better trained in mental health. And I'm a whole social worker. What the fuck? What is that? What is that? If you're paying for taxes, these people in their training, because they have hours of training, they have to keep certifications, they have to train in various aspects of this, right? Stop making excuses for this behavior. Because if that was your 14-year-old child, Sandy or whatever other supporter, you would be upset. And you could be a really good parent and your child could still be running away and somehow they find themselves with the likes of Mark Leda or Adam22. Stop it. Stop it. Because if that was my kid, I would hope that people would be upset about seeing my son or my daughter up there. I would hope people would want to know, where the hell is the parent? If the parent is absent, well, let me figure out how to step up. Let me figure out what this child needs so she doesn't feel like she has to do this. I don't support criminal behavior. That would be criminal behavior, my friends. And like I said, people come from all walks of life. I got felons in my family. I mean, it is what it is. We all go through stuff, right? It's okay. People change behavior, and that's what matters. But when you violate a child this way, there is no changing that. There is nothing you can do to change that. People go to jail for, you know, this kind of stuff. And this is what I was trying to figure out. How is it that somebody from the FBI hasn't, or maybe they have, I don't know. Has anybody from the FBI watches and doesn't even think about, well, between freedom of speech and documentary purposes, if YouTube can flag me for saying F-bombs or this or that, the other, or describing certain situations, and I have to give a warning, this is educational content, YouTube. We are reviewing this for documentary purposes. I'm having to say this in my narrative, but you can have a 14-year-old prostitute pregnant give interviews without a consent of a parent, I'm assuming, because what kind of a parent would do that? I used to wonder the same thing about MTV. You see how all those people turned out and the MTV and the Teen Moms era and all this other stuff. That used to be one of my favorite shows. I used to watch it. And then it dawned on me and I'm like, if I was one of those parents and my child was pregnant, would I want MTV all over my business for a coin? They make, more money than these victims here. For those people that say, well, we are documenting and we're exposing the things that nobody wants to talk about. Are you kidding me? We see this. If you're in the field of social work, if you go out there, get out of your house, stop watching this shit and go figure out where this environment is at. Where is this happening at? So that you can wake up from that. Because for whatever reason, you need to watch something like this and endorse it and be apologetic about it. Crazy work. Yes, he's essentially doing the same on YouTube. He has no business calling this helping. FYI, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Let me shout out some people. Sorry, guys. I don't want to get too far behind. Ronan, thank you for gifting 5 members. Thank you, Ronan. Jen's been a member for 16 months. Archie's mom, thank you. This is so sad. It really is. But it's happening every day. So with BJ, and I can understand her frustration, but it's a real thing. People have to care, and I don't think that they do. People have to say, this isn't okay, but I don't think that they do. People have to care about this. Mom has to figure out, what else can I do besides think about myself and be selfish? Because that is selfish that she's been doing. That mom is so selfish. Tanea is a selfish woman. Okay? Because I've known people that have had it harder than Tanea. Everything in between. And they wouldn't be doing shit like this. They wouldn't have introduced their children to something like this. It's bullshit. It's an excuse. Okay? Pika, thank you so much. 31 months. Streak to the like button. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Pika. DP, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you. Donna says, thank you for the $4.99. Have you seen Katie Porter, who is running for governor of California? She said pedophiles is a sexual orientation. Scary. I have seen people try to excuse the behavior. Okay. I have seen people try to make sense, like it's weird, or say that it didn't happen, or discredit the victim, or whatever it may be. And this is the thing that I'm talking about, is that people want to get political with me until you guys wake up and realize that both sides are shit. Both sides of the political coin are shit. And it's all a cult. And they don't care about you. And they only care about you when they need your vote. And even if they have their vote, they're still going to fucking screw you over. That's how this political agenda is. That's the reality of it. They don't care. They don't care about you. It's a cult. Both sides. Both sides. Thank you, Donna. Edie, thank you so much. Today and Mark act like Nova's content is just risque photos. Nope. It's literally hard adult videos. Yeah. PJ found those videos, right? Like, she didn't even have to say anything. And I think a lot of us kind of knew. Well, damn. And if this child is uploading this content, if she's doing it herself, then why? Why does she have access to this? Why is she doing this to herself? Because whether she's in a foster home or not, whatever it may be, whether it's Tanea, whatever it may be, people are held accountable for things like that. And here's the other question. What about the person that's violating her in that video? Why aren't they behind bars? Why isn't there an investigation with this? Whatever he was propositioning her, the mere fact of propositioning is against the law. A child. Why isn't that person behind bars? And it wouldn't surprise me if it was one of these motherfuckers that sit with Adam22 or any of these people that go and interview with Soft White Underbelly, because that's just the disgrace of this situation. It wouldn't surprise me if it was one of them that was doing all this. It wouldn't. And assuming that the child uploaded it herself, what if it was somebody who's been dealing with her, who's been, throwing her to the wolves? What if it's her own mother? We don't know. Edie, thank you. Green Eyed PI, thank you so much. Appreciate it. In my opinion, Adam's helping advertise these victims to future clients. It's obscene. Yeah. And that's what it seemed like to me when he put that up there. with 14-year-old. This to me is advertisement, because nobody would share this, right? You protect children. You're supposed to protect these children. What do you mean a 14-year-old prostitute? Girl, you don't have to, you would have a conversation. You don't have to do this, man. Let's figure out. Let's get you connected. If your mom's not in your life, your parents are in your life, your guardian, whatever it may be, let's figure out who we can get you connected with. Let's get you off the streets. Let's give you something to eat. Let's figure out your future. You're 14 and you're pregnant. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want? Because you're still a child, right? But unfortunately, these sharks don't see it that way. They don't. That's the reality of it. Natasha, thank you so much. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. Bernice, thank you. Thanks for all the work. I enjoy your episodes. Thank you so much, Bernice. I appreciate it, man. But, we cover a lot of true crime here. This is true crime. This is very much true crime. 14-year-old girl can't consent. Yeah. There's no such thing. 14-year-old prostitute in the same name. That's unheard of. It's not okay. Even the acceptance of that is not okay. I'm not going to allow you to do that. But Soft White Underbelly has done videos like this. Do a search. But when you have supporters like Sandra or Sandy, whatever the hell her name was, that support this, okay, before you make these accusations, what accusations am I making? Is it not on the title? Did he not interview a 14-year-old prostitute? Isn't that what he's doing? He doesn't give a shit about my opinion, because if he did, this was in 2023 when we talked about this. He made fun of this. He was interviewing Rebecca. You all remember that? Oh, I'm a legs guy. I don't really pay attention to the chest, so I didn't even notice Nova was see-through. What accusations am I making? The guy's a dog. That's what he is. He's disgusting. So what am I saying that is so wrong? And even if the parents, Andrea says, as a parent, my job is to protect my child. I don't see care what type of money you throw. That's right. But even if the parents aren't available, what do you do then? What do you make of it? If the parents won't protect their own children, what do you do? What can you do? Because there's this thing, pretty sure it's a Proverbs, it takes a village, right? And then we wonder why people, turn into, well, why did this 17-year-old girl or a 21-year-old girl? I mean, and it kind of has to make you wonder too about Tanea's own life. Who was there for her as a mother, as a child, right? Who was there for her when all this went down? A lot of this is generational, and it's understood. But you can break that curse. I'm not here for the excuses, right? We just don't do excuses. I have had to work all my life as a social worker. I've had to work through so many excuses that people have made about situations. I have had to work through people making excuses and holding people accountable to those excuses. And then having somebody cuss me out on the phone, oh, you bitch, yada, yada, because that's what people get frustrated. That's human. It's human. That's what we do, right? But that's life. Crazy waffle, right? People do defend that. You can only do so much as a person. That's why I have to wonder. I said, well, he's done so much, has he? Well, he did so much for the Whitakers. Okay, sure. He did so much for the Whitakers. Then shit got really real for the Whitakers, right? And now you have these other people, these other individuals that I don't know them personally, but I do have to wonder who starts a channel called the Whitaker Family, and somehow you think that you're going to manage all those finances and everything, and people aren't going to question the things. And now you have officials investigating you. And it's interesting because there's a huge fan base for that. I had a lot of those when I made some posts. Don't talk about the Whitakers. How dare you talk about them? Don't talk about the people that are helping the Whitakers. Why not? They made themselves content. What? Well, they're really good people. They inserted themselves to help. Okay. Okay. And nobody's getting, everybody's helping for free. Help, help, help. All right, sure, whatever. That's all I see. You're absolutely right, Rabbit. This makes my blood boil. As a mom, I fiercely protect them. That's what you do. You do. And when other people do not protect their own children, what do? You got to step up. I'm sorry. Might not be my kid, maybe not my business. But you know what? That could be my kid. What if I'm undisposed? What if I can't help my own child, but I have another concerned citizen who says, "Yo, your kid." Oh, hold up, y'all. Give me 1 sec. You gotta be able to figure out how you can support as well. I was a fan of Mark work, but once I saw BJ's exposed video, my eyes open. Yeah. Wide open to the exploitation at the expense of exposing Underworld. Crazy. Save Nova and save Celeste Rivas. And I said, Celeste Rivas is no, of course, everybody has a different situation, but Nova could be Celeste. Okay. And then this is what bothers me, Disco, is that if something happens to Nova, because that's kind of like the lifestyle, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I don't want to hear people being outraged about it because a lot of this is preventative. We could have done something now. Those videos could have been taken down, right? I don't want to hear people be outraged later on when something happens to this child. Okay? Keep the same energy, because if you're not willing to report the videos, and if you're not willing to do something about these videos, and if you're willing to somehow, excuse the behavior, keep the same energy. Don't be upset later. All right? Don't give your condolences or anything like. I hate to tell you, hate to put it this way, but it's never the same. It's weird to me. Celeste is the same thing. All these people that were around her and that knew and didn't do shit, now you want to give your condolences. I'm so sorry to what happened to that little girl, really, because all of that was preventative. All of that. Again, make sure you guys watch BJ. She did an amazing job in this video. You got to watch the other one if you don't know, but this is historic. And I feel like I gave you guys a really good rundown of it. This is historic. This is historic. Mark Leda, Adam22. This is why it's so exhausting to keep going back and forth on this, because YouTube doesn't do anything about it. The law enforcement doesn't do anything about it. These politicians don't do anything about it. So what?
A regular social media site, and it hasn't been taken down. And I reported it to the FBI, and I reported it to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and it's still up. And not only that, she's posted another one. There's another one posted now. There's more crime to report now. And I tried to report the crime in LA, and they basically just screamed at me. And all of that was my answer when the cop said, "How are you?"
It's crazy to me. We get caught up on the jurisdiction, that and the other, when it's like, well, let me contact. I mean, it's Twitter. Right? Like, do we have a contact with somebody? If you're cyber crimes, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Nothing universal, right? Okay.
What are these people making, like $30 an hour?
Yeah.
When I think about how my daddy, when he was like 22, was like welding and like getting arthritis and stuff for like, $6 or something an hour in 1992. And I think about these just over-bloated, degenerated imbeciles sitting up there in our buildings, getting paid off our money and our labor.
And that's the thing is, like I said, some of these individuals, not so much the people taking the calls, but the individuals that are making these laws, these individuals that are administrators, especially in these buildings, CPS, LAPD, whatever it may be, okay? Whatever. They are far removed. And this was, I could tell you this by experience. And I used to, and I remember I used to be so unpopular because I would say this shit. And I would have HR on me because of this. These are the people that get paid the top salary, but they're so removed from the people that those decisions that they make up there, they're so removed from the people that are impacted by those decisions. And then it trickles down, right? It trickles down to the first front facing employee, to the next employee, to that employee. I used to get into arguments with people about this. I used to be like, you got this administrator or that administrator or this person or whatever making decisions, making all kinds of decisions, but they're so far removed. They don't know the impact. And that's not their child, or that's not their family. That's not their kid. So they don't give a fuck, right? They don't care. The good old boy situation happens a lot. A rebranching of things needs to happen. It's really, I could tell you this by first experience, that somebody like me, and I mean, thank God I never really got, there was a lot of burnout and everything. When you're working in community or you're working in government, it's a lot of burnout because you see yourself giving it your all every day to change things like this. And it doesn't happen because people do not care, because they're too far removed from the people that service, those decisions that they make that impacts them. If they were to see that, if they were to live that, if they were to feel that. To have a child go to school and you expect them to focus on school and stay in school, but they don't have food at home or electricity or whatever it may be, it's ridiculous, right? Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that struggle a lot. They don't. They think they do. They think they're voting for that, right? They think, oh, I voted the right person for this. But does that person know what that feels like to go through something like that? But this is why people like Adam and Mark Leda get away with the shit that they do. It's okay. This is their freedom of speech and creative, whatever, Sandy and all the supporters want to say, whatever it may be. And I'm only calling Sandy out, right? Like, please let me be very clear. There's a lot others other than Sandy. Like, she just happened to be in my comments, okay? But I'm being very real to Sandy, and no shade to Sandy, but I'm being very real. Well, no, I'm giving shade to Sandy because I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Sandy? Why are you doing this to why, Sandy? Why? Do I need to read something else? Do I need to show you a clip of something, Sandy? And Sandy and all these other Mark Leda and Adam22 supporters? Edie, thank you so much. Y'all flood the LAPD social media with BJ's video. I think it's important. I think it's very important. Thank you for the $4.99. NJ Hawaii, thank you. I 100% agree with you. This guy is sick, and I wonder what makes this okay in his mind. And I love. Thank you. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. None of them do. No politician has suffered the hard times. You have to kind of wonder. Some of them, they might have their own upbringing, but, when you are 7 layers removed or have been in office or you're an administrator or you're in those high positions, you tend to forget what it was like to be 14 or 15. You tend to forget what that's like. When people say, I never want to forget where I came from, people do forget where they came from after many years. They forget what it's like to be a child, or what it's like to, maybe if they suffered abuse, what that was like. And then they see another child. Well, therapy, they'll get over it, right? Did the operator even ask BJ for it? No, I didn't even hear that. I didn't even hear. I think it was just child. And then the fact that they wouldn't even give her a name, and, they gave her a badge number or whatever it was. Some people hate to admit that they were wrong, so they doubled down. I can't admit. And I supported him at one point. A lot of people did. I didn't really know what the hell he was about. And then once I was like, what the hell's going on here? But what he does is disgusting. And it's okay to say that. Like I said, people are going to support whoever they want to. I just want people to understand, Some people will say, well, I like him on the Whitaker content, but I don't know too much about the child stuff. Interesting. Hold up, guys. Ada said Adam. Ada. I learned about Mark from you, Rabbit, 2 years ago, and still on YouTube allows this shit. Yeah, they do. They don't care.
And we got to put our kids and our nephews and our nieces and our little cousins and everybody, our community has to be up to being protected by them. And they could give a flying rat's behinds. They're ready to get back home and watch like the next Survivor episode or whatever.
Yep.
Like, call the people in New Jersey, girl.
It's a simple fact, like, and I hate to put it this way too, right? So Tanea's got another child, right? There was this interview that Nova did with Tanea, and there's a new child, and I was like, damn, man. And like I said, y'all, you know, I'm not here to preach to you, to tell you, but like, if I can't focus on the 13-year-old or this other child, why the hell would I bring another child to this world? And if you can't parent your 13-year-old, are you going to be able to parent your infant son? That's the question that I have. And why isn't more people involved in this situation? Why aren't people more outraged about the fact that she's if she is uploading? Because we don't know. People are making this allegation, even if she was. I suggest you guys watch BJ's video. And if you're able to, of course, I'm a mandated reporter. So, of course, I have to report, right? That's what we do. But even if I wasn't a mandated reporter, I would still report. Still be like, listen, this child's being exploited. Her shit's all over X. X won't do anything about it. And every excuse as to why she can't parent them, right? Every excuse for it. And how is she being safe? That's the thing. It's like, I have a different view of this because I worked in the system. And I could tell you, we can go into this, but I'm not even going to do that right now. Mark has a fetish for other people's pains. His decades younger girlfriend passed away recently from an OD. Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy, Natasha. That was crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay, how are y'all? Oh, okay, whatever. Hold up, y'all. That's the question that I have. Ronan, they don't care. Maybe allegedly they are part of the problem. Yeah, I think so too. All right, guys, I have to let you guys go because I got to go tend to baby buddy. She just came back, so I got to go tend to her. But that's the question that I have to ask for you is I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what you're going to do about this problem. And if you don't give a shit, then that's fine. You could say that too. I don't give a shit. Just like that other guy who said, oh, she's a fast little girl. Okay. But when it's your child, and you want people to be outraged, okay. Just remember that. This could be anybody's child. I'll see you guys later. Shout out to BJ who was in the chat. Make sure you guys go watch those videos. And thank you for those that supported the channel today. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.